How's it going, guys? And welcome back to the Ditto Draft League, where this could be it. We have our Week 7 game here against Standard, the coach of the Kansas City Kyurem, and absolutely everything is on the line here. The thing is, replacing into this league, I did have a slim chance of making playoffs, and that has become a reality. And this week, it's far more in my hand than I was expecting it to be. Due to the way the results have fallen, all I have to do this week is win, and I make playoffs. Standard is in the exact same position, so we have a bit of a tricky affair going on, and his team is awkward for mine, to say the least, including a certain Mimikyus that I dropped a few weeks ago and replacing that honestly kind of regret right now. If you guys are enjoying the DDL content and the VGC content in general, please do let me know by leaving a like, subscribe to the channel, and just letting me know how you've kind of found this as an experience. I'm still getting used to this whole presenting packages of Wi-Fi games, and honestly, it's been quite nice to be doing stuff in Champions, because singles right now feels a little bit, less said about that the better, huh? Anyways, let's get right into the team that I brought, as well as having a look at this matchup and seeing why this gave me a few headaches. Standard team consists of Mega Scizor, Sylveon, Hydreigon, Mega Chandelure, Mamoswine, Rotom Heat, Mimikyu, Raichu, Paldean Tauros, the Aqua version, and Aerodactyl. And yeah, there's a few relatively awkward mons for this team. As I mentioned all the way back in week 5 with Own, Scizor's an issue. So if you Mega Evolve the thing, and the fact that my Fire type isn't as secure, this thing's become somehow even more of a problem, which is quite annoying. The SD sets are still pretty good, because all it needs is Bullet Punch plus Fighting Move for the most part. Hydreigon is fairly annoying, because it is his best Scarf in the matchup, because of access to stuff like Snarl if he wants it, but that'll be a bit risky in order to find Gambit. The big thing is actually something like Earth Power. Mega Chandelure is also a giant pain in the hole, which is a mon he's definitely bringing, because my Trick Room mode is something that I have to rely on as a crutch to kind of win this week, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him prison Trick Room on this Mega Chandelure. Mamo's pretty good offensive profile across my team, Rotom Heat's pretty annoying for multiple mons, and like the fairies, one of them will show up. I don't know which one, it's most likely to be Babiri Berry whichever one shows up, but both of them are problematic in their own ways. And then you have the bottom 3 mons, which are just problems. Raichu gives him fast fake out that I don't really deal with too well, and if he combines it with Aerodactyl on lead, it gives him Tailwind, which if I can't get my Trick Room up fast enough, I'm in trouble. And Aerodactyl's offensive profile is also quite good to me, due to its dual stab as well as just ground moves. And the Aqua Tauros does just kind of click buttons versus every single mod on my team, except for Gourgeist. So there's a lot going on here that I need to figure out. But I do have a pretty good Trick Room mode, and I think I have some other tricks up my sleeve that I can pull out this week. And let's get into those tricks that I pulled out of my sleeve, and see can we get this Week 7 dub to take us to playoffs. We kick things off this week with Blastoise, and it's a fairly unique one, as we've gone with a Choice Scarf set. The water resistance Standard has aren't exactly amazing. All he has is the Tauros and the Hydreigon. Therefore, I think Scarf Water Spout could be a really nice surprise in this game that could catch Standard majorly off guard, especially with leads such as the Aerodactyl or the Mega Chandelure. The 23 in Timid means that I outspeed the Aerodactyl, which it's annoying I have to go Timid, because it does mean that by not having Modest, I miss out on the kill on stuff like Fat Shandy, but it's what I had to do because there's no point scarfing it and then just letting Tailwind go up. We've gone with a set of Muddy Water, Water Spout, Fast Fake Out, which is there for lead Raichu scenarios, that I can fake out the Aerodactyl before the Raichu fakes me out, meaning that I can prevent Tailwind entirely. Could leave me in a bit of an awkward spot depending on what I have in the back, with mons like Mamoswine potentially, but we'll get into that later. And then Dragon Pulse obviously to be able to hit the Hydreigon and give me a sort of neutral click in the Tauros. Overall, I think this Blastoise is going to be pretty effective, especially if he does stack up on the Water Wing mons such as the Chandelure and the Mamoswine. And hopefully it can just kind of keep clicking, and that something like Aerodactyl Wide Guard doesn't cause me any sort of problems. We plan on pairing this at some stage with Mega Glimmora, depending on what shows up. because Mega Glamora, all it really needs is dual stab across the board, as that hits absolutely everything. We then have Protect, even though that should have been Spiky Shield, but I'm just being stupid, and I went just for normal Protect and wasn't even thinking this week. Yeah, no, that wasn't my finest moment. I'm realizing that now. And we've gone with Acid Armor as well, because the idea is that I want to be able to stack some defense boosts so that I can deal with the Scizor. Mega Scizor Bullet Punch doesn't kill me, but, you know, if I can get an Acid Armor up, it means that I can live Bullet Punches comfortably, as well as stuff like EQ from Mamoswine I can live 1, which would be quite nice. Or something like Scarf Tauros Wave Crash is another thing. We've just gone with a fairly simple max speed, max burst attack. We've gone modest because I don't think there's any world that Tauros goes jolly here. And anything around that speed tier I don't think is going to run a boosting speed nature, so I thought I need the extra damage. It's also important for a Mega Scizor calc that we'll get into a little bit later. Overall, Glamora should force some good progress, but depending on what shows up, maybe I lead more into my slower modes on this team. We then have Kingambit, which, I can't lie, was not coming for a while, but we have gone with, you know, just a good old Chalpaberry Kingambit here, but it's a bit of a unique 3 attacks. We've gone with Sucker Punch, Iron Head, and Assurance along with Protect, and we've gone with Brave Nature, which kind of gives away that I'm bringing Trick Room this week, because I want to make sure that I am slower than a Sylveon in Trick Room. Sucker Punch plus Iron Head does cover a lot, and Assurance has a really nice click into some of the fatter mons that I don't really deal with too well that I want to be doubling up into. Mega Scizor is one that comes to mind, and it does also come into play with a mon like Rotom Heat, which is pretty good. Overall, this thing does just max HP, max attack, it lives Tauros hits, it lives Hydreigon hits, and overall, should be fairly good. It does take Heat Wave from Mega Shandy, that's important, but overall, I think this thing should be doing pretty good, and hopefully, if there is no Aqua Tauros, this thing I can see putting a lot of work. We then have Crab this week, with 4 attacks and a fairly unique set of 4 attacks. We've gone with Close Combat, Crab Hammer, Iron Head, and Mop Punch. Close Combat because it's stronger than Drain Punch, and I need that extra damage output on mons such as the Scizor and the Tauros. Crab Hammer because it is my best way of being able to hit a Mega Chandelure, but it also hits Rotom Heat, which is nice. Iron Head for the fairies, because Ice Hammer didn't really feel like a click I wanted, and then Mop Punch to be able to pick off stuff like a Hydreigon or a Mamoswine outside of Trick Room. The bulk does mean that I'm able to live an offensive Fairy Feather Hyper Voice from a Sylveon, and that little bit of defense means that I can take a hit from the Aqua Tauros, Adam in Close Combat to be precise, and then as much attack as possible because I need the damage. Crab in Trick Room does look pretty good across the board, provided that I can get some damage off on the Scizor, which explains the Assurance on the Kingambit a little bit better. Then we have Gourgeist, which of course we have Gourgeist, because I've mentioned Trick Room many times, and unfortunately Armarouge just couldn't quite get it done. I had some interesting ideas with Armarouge, but Gourgeist was just a far more consistent Trick Room setter. We've actually gone with Gourgeist small size this week, and the reason being is I want my Gourgeist to be able to outspeed the Mamoswine as well as the Mega Chandelure. And with Adamant Poltergeist, I should be able to take out a Mega Chandelure in quite a few instances. We then, the rest of the set, fairly normal. We've got with Will-O-Wisp over Power Whip because I decided that any of the stuff I'd want to click Grass Move into, I'd want to burn, and the burn is far nicer for stuff like the Mega Scizor. Then we've Protect to scout anytime he wants to double this because this is my Sash user this week, and then obviously Trick Room, which, depending on the scenario, might be a difficult click, but there definitely is times where I can get it up and then go ham with Kingambit plus Crab. Gourgeist probably is going to be a lead at some point, maybe multiple times, we will have to see. And finally, we have a very supportive Jolteon here, with the Shuckleberry. That is to help me be able to live Mamoswine hits, as well as Choice Scarfed Hydreigon Earth Power, which is pretty important. The bulk does mean I live Draco though, which we do love that here. We've gone with a set of Protect, Electroweb, Fake Tears, and Yawn. Protect for scouting, Electroweb to lower the speeds of some of the faster mons, Hydreigon being the main one that comes to mind, but Aerodactyl is also relatively relevant in this category. Fake Tears is so that I can lower some Spadefs to get massive hits off of Glim. As I mentioned, Fate Tearsing a Mega Scizor into Power Jamming it. I kill most of the time, even if it is max but def. And then Yawn, it's just a nice positioning tool. I probably will need it if I end up in a position where it's Jolteon plus Glim and I'm dealing with a Mamoswine, which was also part of the reason I should be Spiky Shield. I'm going to change that after this game. Yeah, no, I'll do that. And then we just have, you know, max speed to be able to speed tie that Aerodactyl. Although that probably won't come into play, since I think Aerodactyl's most likely Tailwind. And the little bit of Fizz Def does also help in living Tauros. As you've noticed, Tauros, kind of a big deal here. And that is the team that I'm bringing for week 7. Hopefully, it's enough to get it done, so that we can kind of, you know, take our... And that is the team that I have for week 7. I think it should be good enough to get the job done, but Standard does have a ton of options that I need to respect, and I think I've covered them as well as I possibly can. Without further ado, let's get into this week 7 battle. Getting into week 7 here, where we take on Standard, and he's surprised me. He has very much surprised me with Aerodactyl and Tauros not being here, which I'm not complaining. We do see the Chandelure, we do see the Mimikyu, we do see that the fake out option is there, but I'm just going to leave my Trick Room mode. I'm going to go Gourgai's Gambit, and I'm just going to commit to my Trick Room trio here because they look quite good. Because obviously with no Aerodactyl, it looks a lot better. I'm going to bring Scarlet Blastoise in the back just because he is quite water weak. They don't resist being that Hydreigon, which is quite good. Yeah, I'm going to go with this. I'm interested to see what he leads. Because I also like this lead in case we do see like lead Mamo. That's kind of what I'm thinking here. But yeah, Mamo Chandelure wouldn't surprise me. Raichu lead wouldn't surprise me either. Just for that lead fake out. So, we shall see. Yeah, wow. No Tauros is really, really good though. That does make me feel quite confident about my Trick Room mode. But like, even if Trick Room doesn't get up, like if he does find ways around it, then I should have ways. Right, let's head into the week 7 game. Good luck, have fun, you Standard. And may the best man win, I guess. Winning in playoffs, baby. Let's do this. Raichu Chandelure. Okay, that makes sense. And I lead Gourgai's Gambit. Now, we see the King's Rock and Chandelure. Right. So this is Fling Raichu. So Protect is the temptation because of Fling. But I'm so worried about... Yeah, because he knows now that... I know that he's Fling. So I'm going to Poltergeist, and I'm going to Protect. I think. Or am I going to Sucker? No, I'm going to Protect this. Reason being is I think he's going to fake out the... He's going to fake out the Gambit here. Because of the fact that I know he's Fling's King's Rock, I think he's going to bait the Protect. And if I get it the opposite way around, I'm wrong. So we Mega Evolves. Really annoying the turn 1's a 50-50. I don't like this. Okay, I Protect Gambit. Please fake out that side. Fuck. That's not good. So Gourgai's is about to die here, which is really annoying. Great prep from Standard, by the way. Get the Heat Wave off, down goes my Gourgeist. I'm not getting Trick Room up. And this just became a lot harder. Whew. Right, depends what's in the back here. Because I can obviously go into my Blastoise here. And I can click the Water Spout button. Yes? Yeah, Crab is terrible here. So, we'll go Blastoise. He probably thinks that Raichu's getting faked out. But I'm just going to click Water Spout. Because I can. And I'm going to Sucker Punch this Raichu. Because I think there's a world that Shandy protects here. Just to scout. Maybe I should have suckered the other Mon. Okay, we suckered the Raichu. Oh, good god, that did a lot. Get the Water Spout off. Down goes the Raichu. Chandelure does not die, though. That's unfortunate. So down goes his Raichu, which is good. And we see another Heat Wave, which Gambit should survive. And it does. And let me just check here. What is my Water Spout power now? It's like 80 something. It's still stronger than Muddy Water, but I imagine I'm going to take priority at some stage. Okay, this could have been a lot worse, seeing as I lost my Trick Room on turn 1. Okay, it is Hydreigon. That's not too surprising. And I do want to go Crab here. Because I want to keep this. Do I? No, I want to go Crab here. Because yeah, I want to go Crab here so I can preserve the Scarfmon. And I'm just going to Sucker Punch the Chandelure. If he protects, he protects. With Shandy. If he swaps out. But I'm also not sure what he'd swap out into. Because what could you have in the back? There's no way it's not Mimikyu in the back. You wouldn't keep Mamoswine this long, I don't think. So I'm going to swap here. I'm going to go Crab. I also think this Hydreigon might be Scarfed. He swaps out Chandelure. Into, it is Mimikyu. That makes sense. Sucker Punch fails, obviously. And then we see the Dark Pulse into the Crab. Nice. That does imply this is Scarf Hydreigon, which is completely fine by me. So here, I'm going to Mega Evolve, and I'm going to Mach Punch the shit out of this Hydreigon. Or no. I'm going to Iron Hit this Mimikyu. Because Hydreigon might swap here. So I'm going to Iron Hit this Mimikyu. And I'm going to Sucker Punch this Mimikyu. Just in case, because I want to make sure this guy's broken. So that I don't get Play Roughed immediately. Okay, gonna get the Mega off of Crab. Hopefully he just attacks. That'd be great. Let's Sucker off. It does fail. He stayed in to kill my Gambit. Okay. That's not ideal. It's a good play though. And he does click SD. Okay, that's not great. But we are going to get the Disguise gone, at least. So we do get the Iron Head down this Mimikyu. Down goes the Disguise. And let me just double check that I did this right earlier. Yeah, Water Spout is technically stronger. I'm at 126. But I'm probably taking a Dark Pulse. So realistically, my click is just Muddy Water. I think I lose this though. I think I lose this because of that turn 1. Damn. Yeah. Not ideal. We're going to Mop Punch this Hydreigon. Just to get the damage. And we're just going to include Muddy Water. Yeah. Just going to include Muddy Water. Not sure what he's thinking about. Because I feel like Sure to Your Play is just Dark Pulse Toys. He could double Toys here, actually. He could like Sneak plus Dark Pulse it, which would guarantee him the game. Oh, he swaps! He swaps out Hydreigon to go into Chandelure. So he's sacking that off. That's unfortunate. That is not good whatsoever. We are going to get the Muddy Water off at least. Do like 40 to Mimikyu. With a crit. That's not okay. So that is a very fat Mimikyu. That's like max HP maybe. And Drain Punch. Okay, yeah. Now I lose. Yeah, I most certainly lose here. But that's okay. How do I adjust this though? Like, he just goes Hydreigon here. He probably just clicks Dark Pulse again. Yeah, I'm gonna Mop Punch this, but I probably get sneaked. And I'm just gonna click Muddy Water. Whew, that was a rough one. But there's no way I can come back from this. That's just... Unless he like doesn't have Sneak for some reason. No, he has Sneak. So down goes Crab. Makes sense. And I'm just gonna click... Oh, he Snarl. I'm really surprised about that. seeing as I have a King Gambit. I'm really surprised he actually had Snarl. But yeah, this is going to do nothing. Accuracy drops on both. I couldn't, could I? Nah, Hydreigon takes too little. But I'm arguably wasting my time here. Why is my timer going down? I don't know. Snake misses. Cool. Snarl does not. I'm in Tard, though. Can I, like, crit both, maybe? Crit the Mimikyu for game diff? Nope. Yeah, so I'm going to lose this one 2-0. Which... Oh, I crit the Hydreigon. Oh, good god. Yeah, no. That turn 1 got me. On the bright side, though, I've not revealed Protect on Gourgeist. That could go in my favor. Maybe. But yeah, he just sneaks and takes me out. Unfortunate. There goes my streak of winning game 1s. Another crit. Good god. A lot of crits in this game. But there goes my streak of winning all the game 1s. But, you know, standard, I think, really good prep there with the Fling King's Rock. And I should have protected Gourgeist. But I didn't want to double protect, because if he faked out Gambit, I'm in the same dilemma, except I don't have the protect turn. So, yeah, let's hop into game 2, and hopefully things get a bit better. Alrighty, game 2. The temptation is to bring Glimmora Agility on. With, like, Blastoise lead, aka, like, some of the old strats I had. The issue is a lead Sash Mammo. Yeah, the issue is a lead Sash Mammo. So, but if I think Mammo's gonna come here this time, which I think I do, I just bring the exact same 4. I think I just commit to the exact same thing and just play better. Maybe I lead Blastoise this time. Yeah, I think Blastoise lead is better. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the exact same 4. I think that makes sense. Because I do think Mamoswine shows up this time, and non-zero chance Scizor shows up this time, expecting my Glimmora. Yeah, no, I think do this twice and then maybe come game 3 we do load up a Glimmora. Alright, game 2. Hopefully we do see Mamoswine lead. Because if we see the same lead, what do we do? I don't know. We'll figure that out. So I drag on Mamoswine. Okay. That's fine. So I think Gourgeist Blastoise. And we see a Scarf. And we see a Sash. Okay, it is Sash Mamoswine. That's good information. And I'm just going to protect here. Because I think I'm getting Dark Pulsed. I think it's probably Dark Pulse plus EQ. I want a Water Spout, but I'll probably Muddy Water, just in case Blastoise is the one that gets Dark Pulsed. That would be annoying. So, I'm going to do that. Protect. Hopefully we see Dark Pulse into this. Dark Pulse. Into Gourgeist. Nice. Get the Muddy Water off. He now knows this is Scarfed, I guess? Because I don't know how fat the Shandy was. Well, I know the Shandy was fat. I don't know how fast it was. Get the Eiscue Crash. And he into Gourgeist as well. Lovely stuff. Great turn 1 from me. Now, is he Ice Shard? So this is probably Mimikyus Scizor in the back. So I think I try Trick Room. And just Muddy Water again. If he's Ice Shard and Mammal, that's fine. Like, this is a trade that's fairly okay, because I can just get Crab in. Yeah, I can just get Crab in at that point. Or even Blastoise. The Dark Pulse into Gourgeist. No Ice Shard. This is fantastic. Brings me down to my Sash, which he didn't know before. Okay, we get into the Sash. Muddy Water comes off. It connects. Down goes the Mamoswine. And we're in a fantastic position as long as... Yeah, I'm going to get Trick Room up, and this looks fantastic. How does he beat Crab and Scizor now? He doesn't. He doesn't beat Crab, and he doesn't beat Gambit. Fuck! That's so frustrating. I win the game there with Trick Room. Oh well. We'll figure it out, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, we'll figure this out. So I did Mimikyu. That makes sense. And I need that Disguise broken. Yeah, I'm gonna go Gambit here. Just to take the Sneak or the Dark Pulse. And I'm just going to Muddy Water again. I need this guy's gone. I really do. So, sooner I can do that, the better. We know this is Drain Punch, but thankfully I am Chople. So, out goes Gourgeist. I'll keep that as a sack for later. In comes the Gambit. He Dark Pulses into Blastoise this time. Makes sense. Which, ooh, that 2 shots. That's annoying. Come on, man! And he gets an SD for free. Oh my god. Right, it's fine. It's fine as long as Blastoise lives. The sucker seems stupid. Just in case he +2 sneaks my toys. So I'm going to Assurance the Mimikyu here. And just a Muddy Water. I hope he Drain Punches Gambit. Okay, he goes for Dark Pulse. I live on 2. Okay, maybe this isn't over. We get the Muddy Water off. My Dragon's at 50. I think Mimikyu dies. I Assurance rather than Iron-Headed, just in case it's Babiri, which is relatively likely. Like, I think the Fairies being Babiri makes sense. Does he come at Blastoise? No, he Drain Punches. Okay, I am Chople, so I do survive this. Oh, that did a lot. But please, Mimikyu. Right, come on, King Gambit, come on. Only way back in this game now. Come on, Gambit. Come on! Just wasn't meant to be today, guys. It was not meant to be. Yeah, man, what a horrendous 3 turns. Do I protect Gambit? Do I Sucker Punch the Mimikyu? I don't know what I click here. I guess I have to go for it. Like, it's a mind game, but no, I'll protect Gambit. I'll see what he wants to click. I'll just Muddy Water again. I assume I'm getting Dark Pulsed, but not much I can do. Or I'm getting sneaked. One of them is happening. So I protect Gambit. He does sneak into Blastoise. Interestingly. So he's just Dark Pulsing into Gambit, which, fair enough. And here I could go Gourgeist. I could go Gourgeist because it forces the sneak, but no, I'm gonna go Crab. Yeah, I'll go Crab. Threaten out this Hydreigon to kind of make it feel a bit useless. And here, I'll Sucker Punch the Mimikyu, or at least attempt to, and I'll just Mouth Punch the Hydreigon. Oh, man. That's so frustrating. Okay, we Mega. Hopefully we pick up this Hydreigon. That'd be fantastic. We Sucker. It fails, so he SDs again? We get the Mouth Punch off. Bye, Hydreigon. At least Crab gets a kill. I'm assuming this is Scizor on the back. Oh, he's Willow. Okay, never mind. It's over. Man. I'm so deflated on that, man. I could get that Trick Room up and Crab goes stupid. And Gambit. Because there's no way he can stop the Mimikyu Disguise from not breaking, is the thing. So I could... Yeah, it's last one Scizor. I can't win unless I crit the shit out of this thing. What? I guess I double the Scizor here because Mimikyu's gonna burn my Gambit, so there's no point Sucker Punching it. Yeah, fuck it, we'll Assurance and we'll Close Combat. What? Why did I not take out the Mimikyu? My head's gone, lads. My head is so gone. But he Mega Evolves a Scizor. I imagine we're gonna see Bullet Punches. Okay, that's semi-attack infested, I think. He does burn my Gambit. I should have killed this thing, but I'll give Standard the extra diff point. I guess. But yeah, this is just over. You go for Assurance. Yeah, does a grand total of 16. A Close Combat probably does like 20. Maybe. I don't know, it did like 30. Good job, Crab. Yeah, so both hurt by burn, and what? I Sucker Punch the Mimikyu, I guess. We'll just close combat the Scizor again. Sure. I'm assuming I'm just getting sneaked and dying. And he probably reveals fighting move on this Scizor. Yeah, there's sneak. There goes Crab. Oh, it's a crit. That definitely didn't matter. It's a +2 Mimikyu. Down goes Crab. I assume down is gonna go. Yeah, Sucker Punch fails. I assume down goes Gambit. It is close combat. Makes sense. As I thought it would be. And it's Gourgeist against the world, against 2 monster priority, with a 1 HP Gourgeist. And that's gonna be it, guys. Yep. Get to a... I'm just gonna sit here for a bit. I'm so deflated. Like, don't get me wrong, game 1, he was far better. But this game 2 is going to sting for a while. This game 2 is going to sting for a while. Says, alright, what's the Mimikyu item? Oh, it is Babiri. Okay, I was right with the Assurance Plaque, but it lived anyways. So, I don't know, we'll Poltergeist the Scizor, I guess. It doesn't matter. Why are you thinking? Just click priority moves. Yeah, there goes Sneak. And just like that, guys, season's over. Your Slowbrohemians finish 2-5. And we're not going to get the chance to go to playoffs. We're out. But honestly, overall, this was still an incredibly fun experience. This is definitely a deflating way to go out, but still an incredibly fun experience. I'm so glad that I did this. And yeah, this is going to take a little bit. So I'm going to cut to the post-game, where hopefully I've had a few days to kind of digest this. And I'll do like a whole season recap and things like that. So I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you in the post-game review. Welcome to a fairly somber post-game review, which will also double up as a season review. Unfortunately, this is it. We weren't able to make it through with that 2-0 loss. And as you can see the standings right there, if we won, we made it. The way it planned out. And the other mental thing is every single game we played was against someone that made playoffs. Which, I'm not going to lie, that is crazy. So I think there's a lot of positives that I can take from this season, especially as a first season coming into VGC, and a first season where you're replacing a team that, I'm not gonna lie, wasn't really my style, and I did a lot of chopping and changing trying to fix it. I think I made some mistakes along the way with some of the transactions I made, some of which bit me in the ass directly, shoutouts to Mimikyu, but you do look at every single game, and I think every single player that either myself or Nexus played made playoffs, which is incredibly unlucky. But that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. But, well, also on a technicality, because I think Viz had step away, so Standard made playoffs, it's a whole thing. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this season. I hope you've enjoyed something new. I really have. And honestly, VGC and Champions is a lot of fun. And hopefully I have a project along the lines with MB. I think MB brings forth some really fun other mons when it comes to draft. And it's just kind of the bug that I have right now. Especially with how I feel about singles, which I might get into another time. I hope you guys have enjoyed these few weeks of the Wi-Fi content being back, and hopefully it'll be a bit shorter before it comes back again. I'll see you soon, guys. Peace.